is up, all? Amebix, Sonic Mass. This album came out in 2011 on Easy Action Records. Amebix are a three-piece from England, and they play a style that's very difficult to describe. They are a cross between crust punk, metal, and post-punk. And they're definitely in league with bands like Killing Joke or Neurosis, who are both two bands that are very difficult to describe and to even throw into a category. And this is Amebix's first album in over 20 years. They formed in 1978, disbanded in 1987, and in 2008 they reformed, and in 2011 we have Sonic Mass. And this whole record, I feel, should be listened to front to back. Every track bleeds into another, and it feels like every track is a movement in a very, very rich orchestration. And we shift through alternating moods and atmospheres, and it all begins with the track entitled Days, which has Roy Miller playing solo bass and singing very melodic, very lush, dark, and beautiful sounding vocals. It really, really tears at your soul with the line, "These days will never come again," and it's just entirely thought-provoking. I think about my life, I think about death, and that repeated line really sticks with you after you listen to this. Going throughout my day, that line, "These days will never come again," just pops into my head, and just something about it strikes me wholeheartedly. And as the track progresses, every synthesis creeps in, drums start creeping in, until we get a full-bodied, dark post-punk song that absolutely floored me. And it bleeds right into track 2, entitled Shield Wall, and it creates a wall. There is a thick wall of guitar, complemented with very rubbery bass and tribal drums, and together they create this very dark and dense instrumental atmosphere. Before we roll into The Messenger, track 3, that has very bizarre sounding synthesis, which I can't really figure it out. It's like a very bizarre sounding synthesis. It's something between tribal sounding synthesis, tribal sounds, and Indian music, and that combined with chant yells and rolling double bass that creates another wall throughout this track. And the track God of the Grain, which is executed with fine-tuned precision and creates this very cold atmosphere. Everything sounds very technical and tight. It almost sounds industrial, but it's not industrial at all. And this is definitely the hardest song on this record, and has this constant flow of strange synthesis just all over the place. And on the track Here Come the Wolf, interesting twist as well. It's very, crust punk and post-punk and very melodic, but we have this collision of heavy metal guitars and punk rock riffing. And I'm totally just mangled in the web of this record. If you're into Neurosis, you'll definitely love this. If you're into Joy Division, you'll also love this. But if you're expecting another Amebix Arise record, this is a very different album than that. It still has the same characteristics, but there's a lot more experimentation on this record. And I'm loving the use of melody on this record. Just how very, very dark it sounds, and how very melodic it sounds. It's not too melodic that it's poppy, not even bright sounding. It's still very macabre. And I truly feel this is a record that should be listened to all the way through, repeatedly, and let it get it just embedded in your subconscious. Very, very sick record, and I wasn't expecting Amebix to take this direction, but I am absolutely loving this record. Seriously, it's all I've been listening to for 2 weeks, all day, all night, and I'm still craving it. an amazing record, and it has even inspired me to go back and listen to what Killing Joke has been doing since they reunited in 2006, and I'm quite surprised by that as well. But yeah, I highly recommend listening to this record. I highly recommend buying this record. This album just totally penetrates my soul on a universal level. I'm going to link some tracks from this album in the description box below. Definitely peep this out and let me know what you think. It's Amebix Sonic Mass. And this album came out in 2011 on Easy Action Records. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time.